downward and forward towards the pterygoid hamulus, which is here. The tendon of tensor palati makes a complete 90-degree turn round the pterygoid hamulus. Here's the tendon emerging. It passes medially to insert on the palatal aponeurosis. The action of tensor palati is to tighten the palate when the tongue presses up against it in the act of swallowing. It also may help to open the auditory tube. We'll end this section with a look at the auditory tube. Here's the end of the cartilage of the auditory tube. The cartilage doesn't form a complete tube. It's open on the underside. Here's the cut edge of the mucous membrane, which forms the real auditory tube. It passes backwards and laterally to reach the cavity of the middle ear. The function of the auditory tube is to keep the pressure inside the middle ear the same as the pressure outside it. Now, let's review what we've seen of the upper part of the air passage. Here are the nostrils, or anterior nares, the columella, the lateral cartilage, the alar cartilage, the septal cartilage, the nasal vestibule, and the olfactory area. Here are the conchae again, superior, middle, and inferior. Here's the nasopharynx, with the torus tubarius, the pharyngeal recess, and the soft palate. Here's the semilunar hiatus and the infundibulum. Here's the levator palati, the tensor palati, and the cartilage of the auditory tube. That brings us to the end of this section on the upper part of the air passage. In the next section, we'll look at the upper and lower jaws and the oral cavity.